Belated Thanksgiving, everybody. You all right? Take your time, Joe.
I'm good.
Let you fill in here. I'll get the cuff for you.
Thank you. If you sell it, then you get a good price on it.
Aliana, check the pockets first, though. Good morning. A belated happy Thanksgiving to everybody. My gut, I'll say this unrehearsed, my gut is we would be here together this morning on any normal Sunday, given the storm that's brewing, but in particular, given that this is one of the top couple of travel days of the year in the United States and certainly in New Jersey, we are definitely at post and present this morning. So welcome everybody to the Statewide Traffic Management Center. I'm here with a cavalcade of representatives from our cabinet. To my immediate left, DOT Commissioner Diane Gutierrez-Scacchetti. To her left, Superintendent State Police Colonel Pat Callahan. To my immediate right, BPU President Joe Fiordaliso. And to his right, Homeland Security Director Jared Maples. So good morning, everyone. We are currently experiencing the opening salvos from a storm system which will act really more like two systems. So in fact, it's one system, but it will behave as though it's two. And it's expected to impact us throughout the day today, tomorrow, and into early Tuesday. This storm will bring a wintry mix and rain across the entire state for today, with an anticipated changeover to snow tomorrow, and potentially significant accumulations north and west, in particular of Interstate 80 and into the higher elevations. We know the forecast can change quickly with a storm system like this, so we will continue to closely monitor conditions. I'm also, at a personal level, delaying my planned departure to California so that I can remain in state to oversee our response and progress. The Department of Transportation is prepared to keep our state roads and highways clear and is ready to activate equipment as necessary. Diane and her team are working closely with NJ Transit, the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, the toll road authorities, and our regional partners to ensure a coordinated storm response. DOT began pre-treating many state highways with brine solution over the past several days with the purpose of giving additional protection against any surface freezing. Information on road conditions will be posted on the electronic signs along our highways and through the NJ.Facebook page, on Twitter at NJDOT_info, that's at NJDOT_info, and at 511NJ.org, 511NJ.org. We recognize, as I said at the outset, that this is one of the busiest travel days of the year as families are returning home from Thanksgiving, students returning to school. I've got several in my own household. If you're out today, please take your time and exercise caution. If you come across any road crews, please stay clear and give them room to work. Do not try to pass. And if they are behind you, please let them pass so they can treat the roadway. If you do not have to go out today, please stay off the roads so the DOT, county, and local road crews can attend to their jobs. Because of the potential for ice and ice-related events, and that includes today, and heavy snow, there is also the potential for power outages. The Board of Public Utilities, under Joe's leadership, has been in contact with New Jersey's 4 electric supply companies to ensure they are prepared to deploy their crews into the storm to restore power when and where needed. If you do lose power, please immediately report the blackout to your electric company. Do not assume your neighbors have done so. The more calls received, the better the power companies can focus their resources. And should you see a downed power line, please stay a safe distance away. Don't go anywhere near it. Call it in and let the professionals handle it. We're now coming into our 3rd winter as a team, and I will say, tragically, in the first winter, we had a couple of fatalities with folks who ignored that admonition to stay away from down power lines. We also ask everyone to be good neighbors and check on those vulnerable to the cold. If you or someone you know needs a warming center, please call 211. Again, that's 211, or visit nj211.org, nj211.org for a warming center location. As this is the first real storm of the season, it is the perfect time to make sure you have both a severe weather plan and an emergency preparedness kit for your home and your car, and to know where to get official information. This information is available at my favorite all-encompassing spot, ready.nj.gov. That's ready.nj.gov. Storm updates are also available at the Office of Emergency Management's Facebook page and on Twitter @ReadyNJ. That's @ReadyNJ. As I said, we want everyone to take it safe today before the worst is expected to hit us. We thank the DOT crews who will be out there working to ready New Jersey for the start of the work week tomorrow. Pat, we thank you and all of your colleagues who are out on the roadways as well, trying to keep us safe. I'd now like to ask Commissioner Diane Gutierrez-Scacchetti to speak more to DOT's efforts. Diane, welcome.
Thank you, Governor. Good morning. As the Governor said, DOT and our partner agencies at the New Jersey Turnpike Authority and South Jersey Transportation Authority began brining operations on Friday and concluded them yesterday. As of today, we have about 1,200 pieces of equipment available to us, and we expect this to be, for today, mostly a salting operation. As the Governor talked about, there's a lot of rain, but that can mix with other types of precipitation. So we ask everyone to, exhibit tremendous patience today when driving. We look at the window of people returning home from the holiday to be sometime around late morning into early evening. So the roads will have an opportunity to be crowded. It will be raining. And we just, again, ask everybody to exhibit patience so everybody gets home safely today. We have enough resources today to carry us through about 48 hours, which is what we think about the duration of this storm will be. But even beyond that, we will have folks that are rested and ready to go. New Jersey Transit has done their prelims, and they believe the transit service will run today as anticipated, with perhaps the exception of a couple of lines, bus lines in particular. What I ask you to do is, if you need to use New Jersey Transit today, to please go to njtransit.com for their up-to-the-minute schedule changes. If you don't have the app on your phone, please download it. It does give you the information that you need to understand what service will look like. We'll be revisiting all of this over the course of today. As the Governor said, this is a two-phase type storm. Yet tomorrow may be more important than today in terms of making sure we have assets in place. We are prepared to plow if circumstances change quickly. So we are not looking at this discreetly, but we are certainly looking at it as a single event. The same information I give all the time is what I'm going to give you today. Please, if you are on the road and you see plows or our first responders and it is safe, please move over. If you cannot move over, please slow down. You never know where you're going to hit a slippery patch, and all of us deserve to go home every night. Also important is if it's raining and you have your windshield wipers on, your headlights need to be on. I appreciate automatic headlights, they're wonderful, but you've got to make sure that during the day you turn them on. It's very, very important that that happens. Safety first, always safety first. Please, whatever you do, put your phone down. Make sure you're buckled up. Make sure your passengers are buckled up, and everybody then gets to go home every night. Thanks.
Thank you, Diane. Thank you for that. And one of the things I referenced, and as did you as well, Diane, is increasingly we're trying to have a single coordinated attack on these storms, and that includes NJ Transit, the Port Authority, neighboring states, et cetera. So thank you for everything, and thanks to your crews on the road. Please help me welcome someone who also has a lot of bodies out on the roads, Superintendent Colonel Pat Callahan.
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate that. Good morning, everybody. I'll just echo both the governor's and commissioner's remarks. We will have additional troopers out there in what we call enhanced patrols, and that'll be handling motor vehicle accidents, motorist aids. And we do have a move-over law in the state of New Jersey. So again, if you can, slow down for sure. If it's safe to move over, move over. The increased potential for car accidents, they increase exponentially in weather like this, and that includes secondary accidents. And the last thing anybody here wants to see is a trooper, a DOT worker, a tow truck driver, an EMS provider get critically injured or killed because of somebody not slowing down and not moving over. So I'll stress that. I stress that even on sunny days, but especially in weather like this. It's also important to note that our State Emergency Operations Center will open at noon today. We will be in direct contact with all 21 county OEM coordinators. If need arises, we'll get on the phone to have partner phone calls with them. If they have any needs, both at the municipal or county level, we will be open and ready to address those resource requests. So, and again, as we've all said here, if you don't need to be out there, please stay home because that will really help us get DOT and those both the spreading and plowing operations, allow them to do their jobs so we all can go home at the end of our shift. Thank you.
Thank you, Pat. Thank you again for everything you and your colleagues do every day for us. If I had to sort of describe today versus tomorrow, probably a little less snow today and a lot more rain and wintry mix, but with ice concerns. Tomorrow, probably more on the margin, more snow, more wintry mix, probably less rain. Particular concern toward the afternoon rush hour in particular, as we stand here now. Winds not terribly out of hand, but ice concerns both days. And that's a big flashing light for me. Ice concerns on how you're carrying and driving, but also as it relates to potential power outages. And with that, please help me welcome the President of the Board of Public Utilities, Joe Fiordaliso. Joe?
Thank you, Governor. Thank you very much. I had to come with my Duncan, I'm sorry. One of the primary things I always hear is, well, we only have X number of outages throughout the state of New Jersey. Well, as far as the Board of Public Utilities is concerned, that's X number too many. Our goal is to ensure the fact that everybody has power, particularly in weather like this where heating is so extremely important. It's vital that you notify your utility if you are without power. They don't know that you're without power unless you tell them. Keep in mind that weather conditions also dictate how quickly, if you are without power, your power is going to come back on. I think we're fortunate in the fact that wind is not going to be a factor here. Wind does have a traumatic effect on our vegetation, our trees, and knock down power lines. But I'm not sure that's going to be a factor here. What I am concerned about is the ice, or the possibility of ice. So we have to be vigilant, be prepared, charge your telephone, your cell phone. As soon as you hear my voice, go there and charge it while you still have power. Make sure you have a flashlight available. And I know that our utilities are prepared. They have crews on alert, not only here in the state of New Jersey, but crews that do come and assist us from out of state, which we are very, very grateful for. Right now, obviously, we have a normal range of power outages throughout the state. And again, normal is probably not the right word, but it is a word that every day there's going to be some kind of power outage. I've had as low as 20 power outages throughout the state of New Jersey, and we're dealing with 4.5 million customers. But those 20 people are suffering, so we try to get that power up as quickly as we possibly can, just as we do in a storm. And I'm going to repeat one other thing that the governor mentioned. If there is a down power line, don't go near it. please. I had a situation in one of the storms where a power line came down in front of my home. And if you would have seen the fire it created and melted the blacktop on my street, it would be enough to frighten you to stay away from a down power line. So please, don't go anywhere near it. Again, if you lose power, call your utility company, let them know, don't assume somebody else is going to do it. And let's just hope that this storm has the least amount of effect on us as possible. So thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's like NJ Transit, Diane. Our batting average has gotten a lot better on power outages and trains running on time. But if it's your train that's not showing up or your house that's out of power, you're not happy with that. You're frustrated, and I don't blame you. So are we. With that, making sure that we're also making the entire state as safe as it can be, as we do every day, even in the midst of a challenging storm. Please help me welcome the Director of Homeland Security, Jared Maples.
I'll be pretty brief. First of all, obviously the events on Friday with the London attack, we've been monitoring that. There are no known or specific credible threats to New Jersey as it relates to those, but we are constantly monitoring. Obviously, we're going to be on heightened alert along with Colonel Callahan's troopers throughout the holiday season. And the final piece, during a storm like this, we remain in constant contact, as we always do, with the critical infrastructure and private sector partners. So we'll continue to do that 24/7 and make sure we push out all this messaging so that the companies and industries are well aware and in the loop of every bit of information they need to secure their employees and their facilities. Thank you.
Thanks, man. Thank you, Jared. With that, we'll take any questions you have. Please.
Governor, last storm season, one of the storms did catch everybody off guard. It seemed both at the state level, but also just folks that
Yep.
were at work, and people rushed out during rush hour exactly when it hit, and a whole bunch of people got stuck. George Washington Bridge was backed up for several hours.
You bet.
We're expecting that tomorrow, not those conditions.
I hope not.
Expecting
I hope
weather
that-
to be
yes.
tomorrow in rush hour. So what do people do if they're at work? Do they hurry up and get out of work, or do they stay at work and wait for the storm to pass?
Yeah, that was literally a perfect storm last year in every respect, including from yours truly. We just didn't get it done, and we're committed to not reliving that same experience. I'd say it breaks into really two parts today, and I say this recognizing this is one of the top couple of travel days in the year, probably only challenged for that title by last Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. We know people have to get home. We know folks have to get back to school. So please, if you're in those categories, be extra careful. But if you don't have to go out, just don't go. Tomorrow, obviously, is a work day. And please forgive us, these storm systems morph. We're going to know a lot more. This is an iterative process. This is probably not the last time you're going to hear from us, either in person like this or through our social media or other means. So I would say to everybody, stay close as this evolves, and use your head. If you can delay tomorrow morning, if you can work from home, if you can get out early, if it looks like the roof is going to fall in the afternoon commute, stay as informed as possible. And we're doing everything we can on our side to not just prepare for this, roads, power, security, but also to give as much information into the hands of folks so they can make intelligent decisions. So I'd say stay on top of this, as I know we will, and we'll do everything we can to make sure folks have the information for them to make sensible judgments. Thank you.
So you're just delaying your trip right now? I mean,
Right now I'm delaying, but this is I am all in both in words and actions, New Jersey first. So when or whether I ultimately go out to California is to be determined. I'm focused and will continue to be focused on New Jersey and making sure that we're overseeing our response and preparation for this storm. Anybody else?
do you have any reaction to the other big New Jersey news about Coach Gianna possibly looks like he signed a deal? Or...
Listen, I'll let Rutgers, as they should, break any news, but we count us all in for, if we're going to be in the Big Ten, to be competitive. It's important to our student athletes. It's important to the Rutgers community. It's important certainly to the alums, and I think it's a point of Jersey pride. and we have been committed to that from moment one. And as I say, we'll let Rutgers break any news officially. But if this goes the direction it's headed, I think it's going to be a very good day for New Jersey and for Rutgers in particular. I want to thank Colonel Callahan. Pat, thank you. Diane, Joe, Jared. Again, ready.nj.gov would be the one place I would go if I were trying to find one place. You've heard some other call letters for warming centers, for traffic conditions. I would just say stay informed. The more information you have, the better informed your decisions will be. If you have to be on the roads, and we recognize today is one of those days where a lot of folks have to be out there, please be as careful as possible. If you don't have to be out there, don't go out there. And again, this is one system, but it's going to evidence itself sort of in a, staying with football analogies, in a first half and a second half. And tomorrow looks to be more challenging. And so please stay tuned. We will be back to you with any information and updates that we have. I think we've all mentioned it. ICE is a common denominator both today and tomorrow. Lastly, I don't want to get out ahead of myself, but I think if you were to sort of, if you're wondering where the heaviest hit will be, I think if you sliced New Jersey into a pie and you took 195 north and west of the Turnpike, I think it's fair to say that's where the major focus will be in terms of the heaviest hit, whether it's snow accumulation, incidences of ice, tough terrain, whatever it might be. I think that's probably our number one focus area. It's not the only area, though. This is an entire state system, but I think that's the part of the state that we think will be the hardest hit. Many thanks, everybody. Be safe.